Ladies and gentlemen, we do thank you very much for your attention, and now we invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Welcome to our top travel destinations. I am your host, Kevin Flanagan. I have been editor of the weekly travel news column in the Sunday Independent and the Fine Wine and Food Guide, and I am here to use my decades of experience to help you know exactly where to stay, eat, drink, shop and explore when visiting the world's top travel destinations. So sit back and enjoy the wonders of travel as we take off on our magical journey together. Welcome to a special podcast. I'm here with my colleague Ciaran Conluain. He is a very, very avid golfer as well as a great reporter on our top travel destinations team. And we're going to look at some exciting golf destinations. Golf is, I think, a really mystical sport. It has a very bad rap, as sort of a retiree's pursuit, but I don't think that's true at all. In fact, the current world chess champion, Magnus Carlsen, who's a bit of a genius, to put it mildly, is totally fascinated by the game of golf because of what it does to the inner world, the concentration and the focus. And the great thing about golf is you can play it anywhere in the world. And Ciaran's going to start us off with what I hope is an occasional series where we look at some really interesting places where you can go and enjoy golf. And we're going to start off our destinations report in Ireland, which has a worldwide reputation for great golf courses. Ciaran, you're really welcome to our show today, and I'm looking forward to hearing where we can play golf.
Thanks, Kevin. Myself and Kevin sat down and thought about what would be a good way to approach talking about golf as a travel destination for people who are obviously big golf fans and regularly play golf, and people who also accompany them, maybe partners who aren't that interested in golf. They have to have other things you can do. So we picked resort places rather than golf courses, because there's obviously some top golf courses in Ireland that we won't be mentioning today. We've picked two places that are within a couple of hours of Leinster, Dublin, and then one other place out a little bit further afield that aren't 4 or 5 hour drives, which you mean you might need 2 or 3 days to go there. So first place, Kevin, myself and yourself went here together. That was Mount Juliet in Kilkenny. So it's under 2 hours drive from Dublin and really centrally located. It held the 2022 Irish Open, designed by Jack Nicklaus, a real marquee championship golf course. Kevin, what did you think of the golf course?
Mount Juliet was famously created during the Celtic Tiger years in Ireland, when Ireland really had lots of money, and this was a fantastic place. But it wasn't just a golf course. They had an amazing hotel and they had an amazing restaurant, and part of the fun of going down, Ciaran, was visiting the restaurant on the 10th anniversary of its Michelin star, the great chef John Kelly, who is the chef who created an incredible celebratory lunch. So we preambled our golf with a most fantastic evening meal.
Yeah, the Lady Helen restaurant, it's a real experience. We've eaten in Michelin star restaurants. I've been privileged enough to do that over the last few years, doing our food and wine reviews. And John Kelly, brilliant chef, really, really good. The whole setup, it is really next level in Mount Juliet. You have the manor house. We were there just before Christmas, big Christmas tree and beautiful mulled wine. Everything is the best you're going to try. It really is a notch above. The service, the rooms, really boutique. It was just next level. So if you're going there with someone who isn't going to want to play 18 holes or even 2 days of golf, they have to have something else, and my God, it has everything you could want from a real 5-star stay.
And they have a fantastic spa, and we worked out in the gym. It is a wonderful experience for special occasions, for anniversaries, for birthdays. This would be a really great place to consider, particularly out of season. But then we got down to playing a round of golf, Ciaran, and then the fun really started.
You'll have DP World Tour, former European Tour events played here. And there's times when you're just on a tee box and I have to get my camera out. I have to get it out and take some video. I have to take a picture. And you don't get that often. You pay extra for this, but this is a real experience playing on this course. And although we played very much off season and it's been a wet time to play golf, the course was in good shape. You'll be far better than most courses you're going to be playing. So it's really worth the experience. If you're a higher handicap, it's playable. We didn't lose a massive amount of golf balls. You beat me on the 18th, which, I have to say that was hard to take. We really had a great time, and we both got around the course very, very well, even though it's winter kind of golf at the time.
Yes, I would be a very high handicapper. I have a decent game, a bit like my skiing. It's decent. Ciaran is a very good golfer. But what I found really great about Mount Juliet for a high handicap recreational golfer was it was quite forgiving. But then you have these incredible greens. Now, the greens is really where the money counts on championship golf courses. I can remember one putt, I think it was on the 7th hole. It was only a 10-footer, and I was slightly above the hole, and I putted like I normally would on a green, and the ball went 15 foot past the hole. It was like glass. We spent a few moments, it was like Augusta, just finessing how to putt. Just gently tap the ball and it trickles down towards the hole. So there was a level of beauty about that. And also, as Ciaran said, it would take the eyes out of your head. You'd stand on bridges going over the lovely lakes and rivers and little streams that mark the course. It was just a fabulous occasion, and sometimes it's worth that money. And I think you can get deals out of season. Check on the website. It's going to be worth the investment, I believe.
Yeah, and they have Hunter's Yard if you're not looking at staying in the Manor House. Their Hunter's Yard part of the hotel is beautiful, really, really good, and they have a little balcony, outdoor terrace, and you overlook the practice facilities. It's a beautiful place to go. A pint there afterwards. It's a really nice way to spend a day. They really have everything on site that you could possibly want.
So if you're considering flying into Ireland, which tens of thousands of golfers from around the world, Ireland is a bespoke place to go. You will get a welcome down in Mount Juliet that will warm the cockles of your heart. And the clubhouse afterwards, we had great fun. Lovely chowder, I remember. It was quite a cool day. Chowder and a glass of warm tea. Beautiful. Absolutely wonderful experience.
My second place that I picked is the 4-star Tulfarras Golf Resort in County Wicklow. Only about 45 minutes from Dublin. 10 years since I went there last. I was surprised at the improvements that has been made there. It's recently renovated, recently changed ownership. It's a different place completely. And they have a really nice golf course there. The hotel overlooks the golf course, so they have this lovely Fairways restaurant, which, again, I was so surprised by the quality of the food there because it's a very affordable place to go. They do stay and play options there. This is achievable for a one-night getaway with your partner. If they're not interested in golf, my wife we went for breakfast together. I went off and played golf. She went for a run and then had a beautiful afternoon tea in the mezzanine just over the entrance. It's a beautiful place to go. So, yeah, I thought that was really nice. And I was very impressed with the food in the Fairways restaurant, I have to say. Excellent.
And the quality of the golf, what was it like as a challenge to you?
It's a nice course. Again, winter golf. It's tough for Irish parkland courses. People kind of come to Ireland for the links courses. But there are a lot of good parkland courses, especially if we're going to go away for just one night. I don't want to be in the car for 2 hours, 2.5 hours driving somewhere. I want to be there and get as much time in the location as possible. And the course was really nice. I sent you some really nice pictures of it. It's a nice challenge as well. There's some interesting holes. So I think it's a really good option. They don't have a spa there at the moment, but they are looking at building those kind of facilities around there to add on some more value because the suites are fantastic. Imagine going there during the summer. And a lot of the suites have balconies where you could have your bottle of wine in your fridge, sit on the balcony, and even if you're not into golf, you're overlooking this beautiful nature. And there's deer walking past, there's lakes. It's a lovely place and very accessible.
I think that encapsulates, Ciaran, doesn't it? The unique splendour of Irish golfing holidays. Ireland does have some of the most spectacular scenery. It is a very green country, the Emerald Isle. And I think if you do visit Ireland for golf, I was in London recently and the taxi driver regaled me for an hour on a long trip we were having from the airport about how whenever he gets a chance he gets on a plane and goes over to Ireland, and he played most of the golf courses, so this would be a keen recreational golfer. Ireland really hits the spot. But we're not just looking at Ireland, are we, in this particular podcast? We're going to then cast our eye to somewhere a little warmer.
If you're looking for warmer, which I think is a great option to go off season to play golf abroad, because it's very cold here. You're trying to keep your game. Some people put the clubs away for 5 months of the year. But if you want to split that up and get away for a week or 2 weeks, there's a couple of really good places that are very accessible. One of these is Costa Verde, so it's in the northern coast of Spain. We flew in and stayed in Santander and Bilbao. It's a 2-hour flight from Ireland and the UK. It's lots of airports that you can fly into there. What we did was we organised a tour operator. So it was CostaVerde.golf organised that. We were being looked after by Tony Fuller. Such a good guy. Such a good operation they run there. And what I loved was I didn't have to go on and book on all these sites, each golf course, not knowing what the golf course is, reading reviews. They know the golf courses because this is the area where Seve was born. Seve grew up his game. Jose Maria Olazabal, Jean Ram. This is the hotbed of Spanish golf. So it's an iconic place to be and some iconic golf courses.
Wow, it also sounds wonderful, and you could also have either yourself or the missus go and enjoy wonderful cities like Bilbao.
I think it's something we might do a separate report on because Bilbao is one of my favourite city destinations and I've travelled a lot. And Bilbao really is just one of the best destinations I've been to, especially if you're going for 2 or 3 days. It's so central, but the golf courses around that area are just incredible. So one of the courses that I would definitely check out is Real Club de Pedreña, which is Seve's home course, his actual house you can view from the driving range.
Wow.
And really royal kind of style to it. Harry Colt course, a design course, and also a Seve design course, a short course.
What would you say describes Seve's style and that Spanish style of golf for a recreational golfer?
Yeah, so the Spanish style is great because there was obviously sun in that area. Is very undulating hills, but both courses, and I'll come to one of his other courses, you need a good short game. The green areas are really tight, lots of bunkers. These are not flat greens that you can putt from 30 yards onto. These are really challenging holes and it really makes you think. That's what I enjoyed. So you love standing up there and, playing golf in the Phoenix Park or a wide open expanse. Do I aim left here? What happens if I go to the right? It's challenging.
Well,
and I think that's what Seve designs.
And of course, Seve was the master with the short game, so I suppose that sort of makes sense.
Yeah, and he also designed the Santa Marinas course, which we went to, and that was really beautiful. Like the 18th hole, you're teeing off, it's a par 3, you're teeing off at the clubhouse on the left, a massive lake, but you're going downhill, so what club do you take? It was really interesting. Me and my playing partner on the day actually both hit the green, which was very surprising because of the challenges of trying to gauge that. But what I really loved about using a tour operator, which is something people maybe don't think of doing, is when we came in and played that 18th hole shot, the tour operator was standing there with a couple of other people and they're clapping us hitting the green, and then they present us with a glass of cava and are, come on inside, what drink do you want? And you're just like, oh, this is great. Like, do you know what I mean? This isn't like, okay, will we get a drink or will we go home, or where's the taxi? Will you organise a taxi? This is all taken care of for you.
It's a bit like a ski holiday where you don't have to worry about doing anything other than the activity, which is the golf in this case. Did you get to see any of the other Seve memorabilia?
Yeah, the area is a shrine to Seve. So in the Santa Marinas, there's an iconic statue of Seve's swing, which is a really exaggerated finish at the top. It's a beautiful statue and I got a lovely picture beside that. But in the Real Club de Pedreña, it's right near where Seve's home is, where he was a kid, and he used to jump the wall there. So we went and saw the wall that he used to jump to get into the course because he couldn't play it, and he used to hit golf balls in the dark there during the night and had to know where he hit his golf ball from feel, and that's how he developed that feel. And we went to the beach with the tour operator, brought us on all these things that you just wouldn't really organise yourself. And he brought us to the beach where Seve used to practice his iron shots. It was just brilliant. And some amazing restaurants around there. Local food, not expensive.
Give us a flavour of what you would eat there and what really sort of tickled your fancy.
Well, there's something that I'll never forget was the pulpo octopus that was grilled. So what they do is we talk to the chef. They boil it first and then grill it 3 times and put these really lovely spices. It's a beautiful, beautiful flavour. I've tried to replicate it to no avail so far, but I think when you're in a location, and this was kind of like a side street in a neighbourhood, this was not a hotel restaurant we were going to, and that's the kind of benefit you get from going with someone who knows the area. We found that to be really useful, and you're going to places that have great golf places, but they're not out in the middle of nowhere. Santander and Bilbao, beautiful places to go.
And what did Maria, your wife, do when you were out hitting balls?
Well, it's a great question. She loved going around Santander. It's great to spend 7 hours travelling a city centre, getting advice from Tony, gave us advice where to go, what places to eat for her, and she had a brilliant time. walking around. It was a joy for her to have time away from kids and to have a few hours completely free, no one else asking you what you want to do. And she actually met a friend because she used to study in Bilbao, and they had a great time and went walking on the beach. And there's so much to do. You could go back for a week almost and not run out of things to do.
Well, this sounds like the perfect married holiday, because golf actually gives you time on your own. You cannot be on your phone when you're playing a round of golf any more than when you're skiing. So it's very good from that point of view. And then if your partner, whoever that partner is, can also have their own time. I think we're now appreciating, post-pandemic, how important it is to have this quality time on your own. So if you can combine golf with these other activities for any non-golfers or any non-skiers, whatever your holiday of choice, I think that is the perfect combination. You had somewhere else, Ciaran, you wanted to share with us.
Yeah, one of the most famous golf areas in Europe would absolutely be Quinta do Lago. It's in the Algarve, Portuguese Algarve, and a little bit longer flight, 3 hours from UK and Ireland, but it's so centrally located. Lots of taxis at the airport, Faro Airport. You're 25 minutes in a taxi. There's 3 iconic courses that are Quinta do Lago: North, South, and the Laranjal, which we both played together, which was really fun. And I've played all 3 of those courses now. Really enjoyable, really challenging. Lots of questions over, I have a water on the left here, and some really stunning holes again. And if you were able to do that during the winter months and send pictures of you on the range and on the 9th hole in the sunshine, you can't beat that.
No, and I'm a big fan of Quinta. We were down for a friend's wedding. I went to one of the great restaurant experiences I've ever had, which is Bovina. I would really strongly recommend anybody who goes to Quinta is to check out Bovina. We'll include details on toptraveldestinations.com website, so you can click the links to all that myself and Ciaran are talking about. But Bovina was a special place. I'll never forget, we started off with a glass of really good champagne and their local natural oysters, followed by steak. And even my grandson Gubu was 8. I think he had 7 or 8 oysters. It was wonderful. So it is a very dedicated place for golf, but for enjoying yourself. And I would really recommend it. I don't think there's a mistake that the hotel we went to, the Magnolia, is where you get teams like the Irish professional rugby team, Rangers, Liverpool FC. They all use this area because of the quality. Why do they go to this area?
What's great about Quinta do Lago is the facilities that you have there. So it's beside a beach, it's beside multiple golf courses, but the food quality is excellent. Yes. Bold Octopus is very famous, Irish owned, right on the beach. Incredible sunset views. Just click on Instagram and type in Bold Octopus, you'll see these views. I also ate in Caso del Lago. It's on the lake, it's right on a beach, and you can see the golf course from it. Beautiful seafood, bovino, beautiful meat options. It really is top culinary options here, and reasonably well priced as well.
Yes, absolutely. When you look at some of the places where this is the highest culinary standard, and I think if you go to Quinta, you're going to be guaranteed really great weather, great golf, fantastic facilities, and fantastic restaurants.
Yeah, one place where I stayed, if you're looking for something high-end, 5-star, was the Wyndham Grand Algarve. All the rooms are suites, so you have 2, 3 room suites, bedroom suites. You can walk out onto a balcony, ground floor, walk out onto the grass. You have your cooking options if you want. Great for a group, great for a family. You could really have an amazing time. They have some really unusual ownership options where you can actually buy these suites and then they manage it like a full management and you get a return on that. So there's so many amazing areas to stay, but Quinta do Lago, everything is centrally located. This hotel has really nice swimming pool. The staff are so friendly, and inside the restaurant they have XXL by Olivier da Costa, who is one of Portugal's kind of famous chefs. So the food options are excellent as well. It's got a big gym. We used it before golf. The day we were flying out, we did a workout as well. So if you're sporty, you have that option, and if you want food and drink, you have those options. And because you're in Quinta do Lago, there's so many other things to do. Like one item that I told you about was the campus sports facility.
Yes.
And that's where
famous.
Yeah, that's where all the professional footballers go when they're off season, when they're, they either go to Dubai or a lot of them go to the campus. And just when I was there 2 days beforehand, the Dutch national team was there, and just before that the Portugal national team. So Ronaldo was there, and they closed off, and you can play padel. You have a 4G pitch, even better than that, and the standard is just top drawer, and you can pay per time you go for 24-hour pass, or you can buy a monthly pass or a weekly pass, and it's elite. It really is.
And it would work with the grandkids as well, or your kids as well, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, like as in there was lots of younger kids there playing padel with their families and stuff. And
just explain what padel is.
So it's that mini tennis. It's really popular now. It's really taken off worldwide, and it's a really accessible game that kind of most ages can play. And they're trying to. It's a smaller court. You can sneak it in different places for areas that were unused before, and lots of people are now really taking it up. So look, there's so many options to do there. Quinta del Lago is where you're able to go for year-round sun and year-round quality. That's what people are looking for in Quinta del Lago.
And the golf itself.
Yeah, well, golf is exceptional. It's a really high standard. It's not the cheapest, but if you go again off season, on season, it can be hard to get tee times sometimes in some of the courses. But off season, you can get good prices, and it's better to go off season because the weather's worse in where most of us are living, and the weather is beautiful there. It's not too hot, so it's really like a perfect decision to make. So yeah, I know I'll be going back to Quinta, hopefully for years to come, and I'd love to go back again to Costa Verde, the northern coast of Spain, because there's so much to see and do there.
And it's such a beautifully manicured course. I'll never forget, I actually had a foot boot on because I'd injured my plantar, but I still got around. We got a buggy. The grandkid drove that for part of the time. We had an absolute ball going around, and it's manicured, and you get these little carts coming around serving you a coffee or a juice. It's a pleasure. And the course it runs beautifully, and it's quite forgiving as well if you're not an elite golfer. So altogether, I'd have to give that 5 stars.
Yeah, and I really think there's so many options here, and I'm hoping to cover some more courses in Ireland now over the next 12 months, and hopefully some more courses abroad as well. Bring you what I find.
Yeah, well, Ciaran, I think that's absolutely fantastic. I think we've given great options there. You've got Ireland, which is one of the elite places, the marquee places to play golf. And then you've got these other options when you go down to Spain and Portugal, where you're going to enjoy sunshine. You're going to enjoy a different experience. But I think what was really good about these options is that if you're a non-golfer and you're going along as family or friends, that there is things to do, from Bilbao through to these extraordinary sports facilities in Portugal, through to these fantastic spa facilities and the beauty of golf in Ireland. I think we've covered it all. I really look forward to talking more about golf destinations around the world on our Top Travel Destinations podcast. Thank you, Ciaran.
Thank you, Gavin.